What's up, everybody? It is your friend PRC. I am taking over the hosting duties today, and we are going to get started. We got two lovely people here joining me today. We got Beyond Average Mick. Hello, welcome.
What's up, buddy? Good to be here.
Thank you. And Fax, you are here as well.
Yes, sir. How's it going, man?
Haven't seen you in a while. We all missed you.
I know.
Thank you for stepping on.
Great to see you.
The way we're going to do this is I've objectively kind of looked at Mike and the Minifans and ran some statistics and data and stuff. So the best way that I feel that we can optimize this show and get a good show with a lot of topics is if we set the table right now. And that's going to be, I'm going to introduce a topic.
Listen, this is great. Real quick, I want to just point out this research or whatever you did. This is fantastic. I like this format. Continue.
I love doing research. I love looking into statistics. I got all your basketball statistics here, advanced analytics, PER, and performance ratings.
Okay.
No, I don't fuck around. Facts here.
Yeah, goddamn.
PRC show, motherfuckers. All right. So how we're going to do this is Mick will go, then Fax will go. After that, there will be a free swim. If there's a blank in the time, then we're just going to move straight on to the next topic. We're not going to dilly-dally around here and look at our fucking watches. Everybody ready?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's start off with Monday. Monday, there was no show, but we did get a clip that came across the wire, and lucky to have Mick here today to talk about that. But Gus basically was talking to KB and Nick and about his creative paralysis and everything that went with that, and basically threw Mick, Kirk, all the Minifans under the bus, saying that, you know, we were the problem. That's the thing. He's moving on to the next thing. Mick came back on his show, on his Beyond Average podcast, saying that this is what Gus does, that he doesn't really think he was a fan of the Kirk Minahan show. He's a fan on wherever he's going to get a job next. He's very good at like kind of getting into that kind of chameleon role and moving on. So, Mick, is that still your sentiment going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was not a fan of the Kirk Minahan show. I think he was a fan, but I think he led everybody on how big of a fan and how much he cared about the show. I think he enjoys the show, but I don't necessarily think he always gets the show or anything like that. I think at times, like, you know, I think we enjoy the show for different reasons. And I don't know, with Gus, you can tell me if you want to say that he cares about the show, then go listen to him, you know, 2 weeks ago when I was on there, when Kirk was like, you're more of a yak guy than a KMS guy. He says yes to it. And then immediately when people are kind of turning on him, once this new clip comes out, he's asked on his stream the other night, are you more of a KMS guy or a yak guy? And he's back to being a KMS guy because people are mad at him. You know, he just goes where the wind's blowing. It's that simple. The guy's the biggest fraud, I think, to ever come through the KMS universe. And I mean, I'm biased. I don't like him, so I probably sound like sour grapes, but I got nothing for him as of lately. Nothing at all.
Gotcha. Facts. Do you agree? Is Gus the biggest fraud to ever come on the KMS show?
I don't think I would go to that extreme, but to Mick's point, he kind of does lay it out pretty black and white in the sense of Gus. He was a good guy, and he was on the show as a producer. And then when he came back as a guest and he started getting hyped up, that's, I feel like, when you saw that switch start turning. All of a sudden, he got hyped up. He had all of the Minifans and Dave's Davey Day Trader show saying hire Gus. And then you kind of saw it slowly turn. And then basketball is where Mick really started pointing it out to the public. And then everyone else kind of started picking up on it. And I think from there, especially with that clip that actually, from what I've seen, came out on Wednesday, that's when you saw, oh, okay, shit, like, he's not really as invested as he was. He just had the opportunity, took it, and then ran with it, which is fine if you're transparent about it, but he wasn't transparent about it. He wanted to put his allegiance at one spot and then claimed it was somewhere else the second that they took him in.
And why is he doing that? Why is he claiming, you know, with one spot with the Minifans? Because he's trying to get the support. He wants people to think that he cares about the show so much. They're like, all right, Gus, we'll support you, just like they did with Clemmer when Clemmer went to Barstool. The Minifans had his back, and then there was a little friction there, but for the most part, the Minifans enjoy Clemmer, and they want good for him. Even if they don't like his content, they want the best for him because they know he cares about the show. With Gus, I don't see how you can say it's the same thing. This guy will turn his back on it and then say that it's the reason why he was struggling to make content as a producer. Like, I don't see that at all. Again, I'm biased, so I get that, but I don't get this creative paralysis that he had. I don't really understand that.
So do you think if like Gus was on, let's say, Spitting Chicklets, he would 100% say like he's a hockey guy?
Yes, exactly. He would be the biggest hockey guy. He'd be Pierre Maguire, between the glass, just calling the games. That's exactly it.
Facts, agree?
Yeah, I do in some right where I think he kind of has that Coleman factor, but I think people just didn't point it out right away. That chameleon factor where he goes onto another show and will just support what's going on. And I don't necessarily think it's as ill-intentioned as some people may think it is. I think he's just so scrambling and doesn't really know how to take the opportunities that come. So he thinks that he's doing the right thing, and in turn, he's like fucking people over. Like, I feel like, I don't know how you feel personally, Mick, but you and him had a good relationship going for a little bit. But all of a sudden, when he turned his back, he probably thought he was doing the right thing. But in turn, he's just fucking up your guys' relationship, and then he put a huge hole in it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, the guy's trying to get a job. So, I mean, I don't really look at our relationship as going to be, a factor in him trying to get a job. If he's going to views it like that, especially if, the things that he had said, I view him a little bit differently now. Maybe I'm sensitive to it. That's fine. But at the end of the day, like, I just don't know how he can say in good conscience that he wasn't, leading people on to this. Like, I care about the show. I care about KMS just to be like, boom, I'm a yak guy. Like, I to me, that just makes no sense. And you just sound like a fraud.
Do you think Jackson from Australia said he doesn't think he's going to see Gus in the KMS studio for a long time? Do you think this year, from now until like December, do you think you'll see Gus in the third chair again?
Yeah. I think he'll be there.
Facts?
Yeah, I agree too. I think he's going to be there at least one more time at the very least because, one, they have to address what just did happen, and two, before his proverbial move to Chicago, I'm sure he's going to want to like take one last ride or however you want to phrase it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to Chicago, first of all. I don't think
I mean, but I think he might be trying to move to the Midwest. I don't think he's going to go to Chicago like Barstool-wise, but I feel like he might seriously like try to plan to move to Chicago. I don't know if he actually will follow through.
Right.
But I feel like that's in his like agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, to answer your question, it is windy in here. It is like 98 degrees. The air conditioning is on full blast. That's why the blinds are moving. Great question. All right. Is that the Gus? Does anybody else have anything they want to say about Gus, gaming with Gus, that topic? Nope. Moving on.
No.
All right. So let's move on to Tuesday. We had a show. Quidditch guy came in. He's going for the internship. He doesn't know if he actually got it or not. And quite frankly, I'm not sure whether he fucking got it or not. But he was at the basketball game helping out and everything. And then we had Mikey Grabag doing his song, his follow-up song to the hit "This Is Jeff D. Lowe." I liked the song. I think it's an impossible task to ask anyone to try to come back from "This Is Jeff D. Lowe." I just think that would be like hitting a grand slam your first time, and then everybody is expecting you to hit a home run every time you fucking come to bat. But what did you think, Mick, about Quidditch guy? Would you like to see him as an intern? Would you like to see him in the chair some more?
Yes and yes. I thought he was good where he picked his spots a little bit. He didn't try to talk too much, and sometimes less is more. And as far as him as an intern, I don't know like what he knows as far as technology wise and stuff, but he seems to care about the show and be dedicated. I know he was there during the basketball yesterday, so I hope we see more of him. He seems like a good guy.
Facts?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I enjoyed what I saw from him because just like Mick said, that little bit without going over the top, like it was probably less than a lot of people wanted to see, and they probably found it boring, but there was like method to the madness type of deal. Like he was being a little more subdued, but he was also trying. That was because he was trying to say, "Hey, let me be the dot the I's and cross the T's type of guy." And I think he would fit that role pretty well because he seems pretty insistent on only wanting to do that. And everybody's first appearance, I can only imagine, can be nerve-wracking going in there because you're over here on all of these shows talking freely, and all of a sudden you're in the bright lights, and it gets a little nerve-wracking because you're like, okay, now I need to stand by my opinions, or I need to figure out how I'm going to be perceived. There's probably 1,000 thoughts running through your head. So I don't really blame him for not talking too much, but I'm a fan. I liked him. I didn't mind him that much.
Yeah, I liked him a lot too. I don't think he had that tweet where he apologized for getting the wasps drawn in the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to apologize for that. That man was rocking out Quidditch facts. If you don't think he's a Quidditch pro, then you're just a hater,
he knows
man.
his Quidditch. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those movies, so I don't know anything about Quidditch. So he could have said any fucking name, and I would have believed it. But no, he seemed like he knew what he was talking about, and he wasn't over the top about his Quidditch. Some people say like I'm a basketball player or something. That's all
right.
they talk about.
Right. Some people score 8 points in a men's game.
Yeah, some people do that, and they'll tell everybody that they'll beat them one-on-one.
That's right.
Then they pick up the basketball and can't even hold it, but that's all right.
The body collapse.
That's just some people.
Hey, I will say though, I did know the Chudley Cannons one. I got that one right, so I was pretty proud of myself.
Attaboy.
It was
Chubby
a random
Cannons?
one. Yeah, I think it was from like Goblet of Fire or something because I read them. I don't think I've read them like 15 years, but I just remember Chudley being a funny name. And when I heard it, I was like, Chudley fucking Cannons. There we go. That subconscious is working.
That sounds like a Pornhub genre.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why I remembered it so well.
Like it sounds like you're going on there for Chubby Cannons.
Yeah, same era, reading and Pornhub. So it was kind of like probably they just coincided.
Golden age.
The 90s were amazing. Big books, big tits. God bless the 90s. All right, and then we had Mikey Grabag on.
Yeah.
Let's go backwards. Facts. What did you think about the new song, and did he do himself justice following up the song of the fucking summer? This is Jeff D. Lowe.
Yeah, I definitely think he definitely lived up to the hype of Jeff D. Lowe. Jeff D. Lowe is the song of the summer because it's that poppy, vibey one. But I feel like the Mamala song is that secret ballad that you like find on somebody's album, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't know they could do this too. It switched the vibes up, but it was so good because it was the perfect balance of impassioned but bullshitting at the same time, where it was making you laugh, but it was actually like something you can listen to. Like I've gone back and I've listened to it, not like 1,000 times. I just listened to it a couple of times, but I went back and listened to it, so it's good enough, clearly.
Mick?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Already looking forward to the next one. This guy's clearly got range too. It's not just poppy hits like the Jeff D. Lowe one. I'm now looking forward to song number 3. I want like something dark, depressing. Maybe something a little bit lower, maybe a winter tone, something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, because listen, I'm a grab bag guy. I'm a grab bagger. I got high hopes for this guy to keep putting these parody songs out.
Do you think he should wait till winter to put it out, or do you think he should strike when the iron's hot?
I'm not going to tell the artist what to do, PRC. All right. I'm going to let him just do his thing because he clearly knows a lot more about this than I do.
Oh, yeah. He seems to have some sort of process, and it's working like a charm. So just let the boy work.
That's right. Yeah. Just let him go in the studio and do his thing.
The lyrics are absolutely phenomenal. Like the song is great, but like the lyrics, and you have to write them in the cantonation. I mean, the song maker only does so much. I'm just so impressed by him.
What are your thoughts on the AI rumors?
Who gives a I mean, that's my point. Kind of is like, even if it is AI, like no one, you can't expect Mikey to play drums, guitar, bass. Like only Mark Rebelay.
First of all, I expect him to PRC. This guy's
okay.
One man band.
I do, but continue. I'm sorry.
But yeah, like only like Mark Rebelay and people like that do that on the streets and shit. But like, no, I think the fact that when you listen to the lyrics and how they fit in the song and like how clever they are and how like the rhymes are not just like one syllable rhymes, they're monosyllabic. Like they have more to it. It's almost like an Eminem kind of thing. Like it's genius. So if like an AI band did the backup to it or whatever, and someone else sang, I don't give a fuck because like he's clearly showing his intelligence and his skill in that songwriting, despite how the final product comes out.
Yeah, I believe Mikey Grabbags. He says there was no AI. There's no AI. So I believe I stand with him.
Yeah, the only thing that I would think is like different is I just don't think they're new off the cuff beats. I feel like maybe he's just like a musical guy and he just has spare beats that he does in his free time. And then he just like finds one and he's like, all right, sweet, let me write some lyrics to this.
Right.
Which is completely fine. That's no problem at all. But I just like how quick he comes up with it. I'm like, maybe he just like likes to fuck around sometimes and just has some good beats. And then he's like, let me do a slow one this time. Goes and finds one of the slow beats folders, the love making beats, love making the mamala.
Yep.
That's
we need a love making song. Yeah, he needs like a ballad, like a Boys to Men type thing.
Oh, that would be perfect.
So, Mikey, if you're out there, slow song. We want a ballad. We want something for the bedroom this time, buddy.
That's right.
All right, Mick. I guess we'll just move up this topic because it came out. It was pretty much an all-week topic, but it came up Tuesday too as well. The Papa Ginos. Being a child of the '90s myself, I've never been to a Papa Gino's. I'm not from the East Coast. I'm not lucky enough to live near water.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm just the Midwest. We got the bullshit Papa John's, Pizza Hut. I know. But I did get the pleasure of going to like one of those '90s Pizza Huts back in the day with the old school red lamps.
Oh yeah,
the deep dish pizza, personal pan pizza that came out in the actual pan, and you could trade in your book it stamps for shit and stuff like that. X-Men in arcades. I imagine that's the aesthetic that Kirk is trying to hit right there. Am I correct, Mick?
It's a little darker, Papa Gino's, in my opinion. Not as far as like the quality of food or anything like that, but the actual atmosphere. It's not as bright as a Pizza Hut. I feel like a Pizza Hut is a little more kid friendly. Papa Gino's is kid friendly, but I didn't see a lot of like video games in the corner or anything like that at Papa Gino. At least the one that I went to growing up, it was just your basic pizza place. You walk in and you could sit down, but there was no. It was just kind of the nostalgic of like the booths are like you sit in a wooden booth. There's like no cushions on them or anything. I love it. I mean, I still go to that same Papa Gino's in South Yarmouth all the time. So I'm a Gino's guy. And as far as KMS goes and the whole operation, I would work there for the rest of my life if asked. I really would. I would sleep pizzas for the rest of my life. I don't care what the salary is. That sounds amazing to me. As long as everybody knows that like the rules are kind of the same as they are with KMS in this whole world, where like, let's not be super friendly and talkative. Let's just get some work done during the day, and then we can socialize afterwards. But during the day, I want to get shit done. I want to just make pizzas and leave me the fuck alone.
All right, Fax, I'm going to get to you. Mick, I have two questions for you real quick.
All right.
Since you do have an extensive restaurant background and bartending and all that, does Papa Gino serve alcohol? Pizza Hut doesn't, but does it?
Not the ones I've ever been to.
Okay. Would you be the manager of the Papa Gino's if asked?
Oh yeah, I would do anything. I'd be the janitor.
Okay. And if it was brought up that there would be a Justin hot dog Sundays,
oh boy, well,
would you support that or would you not support that?
I don't know. I mean, based off these hot dogs, people say Justin knows what he's doing on the grill, and Justin will, obviously back himself up here. The way he put those hot dogs on the grill the other day was concerning. It was very concerning. He left them on there and then he started spraying them out. But like that, it looked like it was somebody who was very careless with a hot dog. But that being said, he is, he's known as a grill master. So I guess we'd have to give him a shot.
Question. Okay. He didn't put much effort into the role that has been substantiated by Mike Mutnansky and others who said that the role wasn't top. How does that play into your factor for hot dog Sundays? Would you be in charge of the rolls or does that give you a little bit of concern?
I'd like a toasted, buttered up brioche roll. That's what we're going to do. A nice bun. Yeah, nice. They're fantastic. They're good. I don't know why Justin didn't think of that in the first place. They're easy. You can throw them right on the grill too. Toast them up. It'd be good. Yeah.
Perfect. Facts. Would you like to work at, first of all, where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from the Midwest too, buddy. I'm from Wisconsin.
I knew you were a Colts fan.
Yeah.
So I knew I liked you, but I didn't. Yeah, Wisconsin. I had an ex from Wisconsin, Sun Prairie. Shout out.
Oh, yeah.
I love that place, right by Madison.
I did a tournament there, yeah.
Question for you. Would you want to work at the Papa Gino's? Would you pack up the dairy life and move out to the East Coast sea life to work at Papa Gino's? If yes, who would you like to work with you? If not, who would you like to see as the manager and employees at the KMS Papa Gino's?
So in my short time, well, I guess no, growing up in Wisconsin, when I was around 15 until I was about 19, I was actually a pizza cook, serving up some pan pizza. So I got a little bit of experience. When I worked there, oh man, if the pay pays the bills properly, I love just sitting in the back and cooking pizzas. So I would be chilling back there. I would have a great time, and I'd have to wait till my Army contract's over. So I got about 9 more months. But yeah, you could see me up there slinging some pizzas around. And as far as who to work with, I mean, at this point, given Mick's passion, I feel like he and I could be back in there.
Oh yeah,
just slinging things up, throwing it up. It'd be like a revamped version of the Bear.
Yes,
except it'd be a Midwestern, a Bostonian.
Yes,
just screaming back and forth. It would be great.
Okay, follow-up question to that. Are you guys ready to just turn this shit off and start our own pizza franchise?
Yes, I well, it has to be KMS related. Like, I think that's the only successful thing, but I'm willing to drop my life for it. I'm being dead. If it's owned by Kirk in the show, I will work there for the rest of my life or for as long as possible. It gives me a real job. I can say I work for the Kirk Minahan show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Is there anybody, Mick, that would be a red flag that you just wouldn't work there? Because
I might work with Gus.
Saying like there is a basketball team incident,
Listen, if Gus, if it's with the Papa Gino's thing, I would have to work with Gus. We'd have to just make it work because I'm not missing the opportunity to work at Papa Gino's for the Kirk Minahan show. That's a lifelong opportunity.
That's right. There are more important things to worry about.
Thank you.
Pizza, Kirk,
That's
the
right.
show. It's all about the family.
That's right.
Basketball not important to Mick. No. All right. I think, does anybody else want to talk about Papa Gino's or something? Because any Papa Gino's,
I would just say, as far as chain pizza restaurants go, it's the number one hands down for me. Like over Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's. It's not even. I would even say like Regina Pizza in the mall. The original one aside, if you go to any other Regina's, Papa Gino's is right there with it. And most people would say that's crazy, but I think Papa Gino's like a nice, a little bit crispy with the cheese pizza. For me, it's like an 8.5. I mean, it's really good.
What would you compare it to the uncouth motherfuckers who live in the Midwest and haven't got the quality Papa Gino's experience? What pretty base chain would you at least compare it to?
It's I don't really know. It's nothing close to Domino's. It's nothing close to Pizza Hut. I would just describe it as like a thin to medium thickness, and the cheese for me is the best part of Papa Gino's. They got great cheese on that. Mm-hmm.
Fucking love cheese.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I could roll with that all day. That's my bread and butter right there.
Yeah.
I just got back from a Dave Portnoy rated pizza place, the pizza joint down here in Augusta. And I realized that he's pretty accurate in his ratings because he rated it 6.6 and I thought the same. So I'm pretty excited to have Papa Gino's for the first time. Hopefully I can get up to Massachusetts one time and try that. And I feel like if we got the restaurant going and the machine was going, well-oiled machine, we could start becoming the new Papa Gino's franchise, It would be the Chris Clemmer presents the Kirk Minahan Papa Gino's restaurant.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and I would be really excited.
Right.
I think it would be great.
Be like some of the supermarkets down here, like Stop and Shop, they have like a Starbucks in there. It'd be just something like that. Maybe the addition to the store. It'd be the KMS version of Papa Gino's.
Exactly. That would be perfect.
Yeah, I can see it already.
I like Mick's vision. I like both your vision. Like this is great. Like you two just vibing over the pizza thing. I'm sold. Like I want to buy shares in it now because I believe in you two and I believe in the vision. All right. Well, we're gonna move on to Thursday. We had Beanbag Ron in studio, along with Mutt. Mick, how did you think those two vibe off each other? And would you like to see more Ron and Mutt in the future or less Ron and Mutt?
I'd definitely like to see. I mean, I think Mutt's kind of a staple. He's going to be in there quite a bit. He's great on the show, so I think he should be. I'd love to see more Beanbag Ron in there. I think he, especially now with the basketball and being probably a little more comfortable with like Kirk and their relationship and just being on the show, and he seems a little more comfortable to me whenever he's on there. And he can dish it too. I mean, you heard him. He was kind of shitting on Coleman and Justin, right to their face, which is funny. So I'd like to see more Beanbag Ron there. Yeah, for sure.
So what did you think, Facts? How did Ron do on his follow-up performance? You think he looked more comfortable in there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Mick basically said exactly how I thought. Like, you saw it, like, Ron's my boy. I love Ron. So seeing him on there and seeing him being more comfortable and him dishing back with Justin Coleman, and not only that, but also Kirk and Mutt, too. So, like, that basketball team did numbers for his comfortability because he was able to just essentially be a part of the show rather than be a guest. It was almost like he was just able to keep the flow going. And those are the guests that everybody loves the most. Those who just kind of like mix right in and it just keep flowing right through them and right back through them. So I'm glad that Ron felt more comfortable because I love his personality. I love him as a dude. So I'm glad that he got his good looks on the show. And then Mutt is pretty consistent. He's always doing, yeah. Other than that, on Thursday night, Mutt on the show was,
God.
Mutt, make it stop. Make it stop.
Why did you do that?
Oh, boy.
He handled that with great aplomb, though, as they say. Like his Twitter, he's been handling that very well. So shout out Muttstack for handling that well. What was that again, John? I didn't see it very well. John shared a clip. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Sorry, I didn't see that. I just wanted to make sure that everybody at home watched that as well.
Oh, poor Mutt.
Bobby thinks the Road Dogg hit the spot for Facts. Would you sponsor a hot dog sundae at Papa Gino's real quick?
I would have to do a taste test. So I gotta see it for myself. Hot dogs.
That's fair.
And I'm not really like picky about the buns part, but Mick describing like the brioche bun with cooked and butter on it. Like if somebody takes the extra mile to do that, that's gonna gain my favor over. But I just gotta eat the dogs first before I give my full opinion. So more to follow.
That's fair. I respect that.
PRC, do you know what kind of hot dogs he bought? I'm sure they said. I just forgot.
I would imagine a man of Justin's status would only use like Nathan's or Vienna or something.
Well, yeah, there's a big difference there. That's a huge difference. But I'm with you.
I'm talking about upper echelon.
Yeah, I do. Nathan's is kind of the go-to. You got to go Nathan's.
Oh yeah, Nathan's
Vienna
is a good
in the Midwest is big.
Yeah,
no, I'm sure they're great, but I mean, it's Nathan's.
There you go.
You got to go Nathan's.
Mm-hmm.
That's the East Coast Midwest thing right here.
All right. Justin says it was Nathan's. All right, that's
as long as it's not Oscar Mayer.
But no, I respect Nathan's, even though I'm saying Vienna's good too. But I respect Nathan's, so that I would imagine a pro like that would use Nathan's. So good to feel.
Fair.
And then let's get into the basketball game now, since we're talking about basketball. Mick, you got the jersey up there in the rafters. Is that a symbolism of you retiring yourself? Did you cover yourself?
No, that's no symbolism there. That's just hanging up for a little while. You can see the Milton's patch too. We love Milton.
That's right.
Yeah, no, definitely not retired completely from basketball. Probably retired from playing, but being around the organization. We'll talk to Kirk. We'll talk to the guys. I gotta feel it out. I thought, I don't think I'm really welcomed around the team at the moment by some, maybe most. So I think I have to earn that trust back, but I'm willing to do so because I do care about KMS basketball, and it breaks my heart that we did not get a win at all at any point of the season. That just has to change. That needs to change.
Now I imagine, you had the Gus ultimatum before. I would, as a man of logic, I would assume that since Kirk said he's not coming back and everything that's transpired, that Gus would probably not be welcome back the next time. If he was, just say like random chance, if he was, would you still be working to tryouts, or do we have a Papa Gino situation, or is that different with basketball?
I would usually say absolutely not, but again, we've got to get a win. We've got to get a win. You know what I mean? That's just something that the Minifans need. We need a win, especially after the trivia early exit. The mini golf performance before that. We're due. We are due for a win. All right, so I'm maybe I'm the only one that cares about that, but I'm willing to put my personal vendetta aside. Maybe it just be one game, PRC. You know what I mean? It may just be the opening game where we win. Me and Gus are teammates for one game and smell you. But I hate seeing a defeated Minifan community. It's terrible.
So are you saying there's a possibility, just in the grand scheme of the world, that there is Gus and Mick on the same court for one last ride, one last rodeo, just for the sake of KMS, for the sake of fucking victory.
Yeah.
You're willing to be that guy.
I would have said no before last night, but after that loss and after just seeing how hard the guys worked, I'd be a disgusting human if I said no. Yeah, there's a possibility for sure.
That the only way they can win is if we do it together. Here we are. Facts. Are you going to be at tryouts? Is your short ass going to be out there trying to do anything?
Hey, I'll say it right now. Put me up there 1v1 against anybody on the team currently or future. I got it. They don't have the athleticism that I do. I'm 25. I'm still young. I don't got old knees. My hops are insane. I'm 5'7", but I jump like I'm 7'2". Will I be at tryouts? I don't know. I don't know if I can be. I mean, shoot, I would love to. That would be great. But, Kirk wants people who are going to be there. And I don't know if I can justify that with a command team. If I'm just like, hey, I gotta go play a basketball game for a podcast.
I'd be
like, oh,
you know what I mean? Say, what do you guys think's more important?
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Yeah, maybe I'll pose the question that to them. I'll be like, respectfully, sir, like,
you're gonna pull that card?
Respectfully, sir, what's really more important here?
Yeah,
I'm out here fighting for my goddamn country.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I would absolutely love. I haven't got to play pickup in a couple of years, so I would be excited to get back out there. I feel like I could be me and Beanbag Ron, would be the dynamic duo of just constant energy, feeding each other. And my defense, that's where it's really done. Locked down. Whether you're fucking 5'2" or 7'2", I'm locking you down.
Oh, we like this.
You're bringing the motor.
Is
that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, no one's stopping me. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm running 3 miles 4 times a week. I'm running just as much as Kirk. Kirk, see me on the court, Kirk. I got you too. Wow. I don't care.
Oh, I like that.
Shit.
Confidence.
He's putting notice out there that the fax machine is always fucking on, man.
That's right.
So, does not take a holiday.
No, anybody and everybody. Lottie-dottie, everybody. That's what I said.
Come fax with him is what he said. So, let's get into the next game. So, did you watch the game, though, Fax?
Yes, I watched it late, I'll admit. I watched it today, but I did watch the game.
Do you think that you and your 7'2/5'7/ who knows motor could get out there? Would you have made a difference in that game Thursday, or did you just think they were just simply too good, the other team?
John made a really good point right there.
Wow, Joan and Warren.
A
salty bitch today.
I feel like I would have made a small difference, but I feel like once the momentum starts going away, it's hard to get it back. But for other games where KMS kind of had everybody on their toes, like we had New York on their fucking toes. Next time that we see New York, they're going to be running out the building, crying their eyes out because I see domination. And if people, like if Mick's at 100%, I ain't seen him at 100%. For all I know, he's cashing it from behind the key. And if I'm out there and Ron's out there and Kirk's out there, send him home. Send Clemmer home.
I will say,
working.
if we get Kirk matched up against his own defense, it's over. It's a wrap. He'll hit. He'll be 8 for 13 from 3. That's all we needed. We needed Kirk playing a zone, and we just didn't get that at any point this season. The one time we played a zone, he was gone. So,
Mick, do you agree with Fax that the Barstool New York team was your best shot this year at victory, or was there any other teams that maybe the score looked a little different, but you thought you were more competitive in that one?
If we had Kirk in the game that I was coaching, I think we would have won. Not because of me, but again, just because of the zone aspect. Yep. And I think that was a 5-point game with 10 minutes left, so we were in it. We were in the game, and it was so fucking hot that night. That's the one that they're always referencing, where it wasn't. That night was it was probably 100 degrees in that gym. I'm not even kidding you. It was crazy hot. So yeah, I mean, if we had Kirk that night, I think we definitely could have won. We could have won the first game. I think we lost by like 10, but it was really close at the end. There's probably 3 teams in that league, maybe closer to 2 or 3 teams in that league that they could we could beat. But then there's also 2 teams that they probably have no chance. That we're just never going to beat. Like that team last night, whenever they wanted to, they could score. What I mean? They were just bigger. They were a lot more athletic than most of us. So
I will say about last night, the one thing I did see was like Kirk's. I mean, the KMS team got beat obviously by 30 points and whatnot. But like they looked like a basketball team out there, like setting picks, passing the ball. They looked like a basketball team. They just got beat by a better team. They just got too many shooters on hoops and herring. That's all it is.
Exactly.
And sometimes in life that just happens. You just get beat. But like they looked like a legit team out there.
And it wasn't like they were fumbling the ball, like walking up the court or turning it over the whole time. Like they were getting good looks for a majority of the game. And it's just the other team hit, a lot more of it. And they're just more, it seemed like they were just better basketball players at the end of the day. They probably just played more basketball in their life.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was seeing, the same thing. All it takes for KMS to win a game is just higher shooting percentage as far as like what they make, and then the defense beyond the key. Because their defense in the paint is tough. You know, they tend to kind of cluster up that paint, and not a lot of people can get in there and drive. What kills them, though, is people behind the key. Like Marty, if you had somebody who could just shove him further and further towards the out of bounds.
Night, right? Wasn't he pretty crazy hot that night?
Yeah, exactly. He was hot as hell. So if he would have got doubled up, or if somebody could have kept up that stamina during the whole game, there might have been a slighter chance. As long as you shut down Marty in that game, KMS has that in the wins. But there was nothing you could do. He was just cashing it.
Yeah.
I think Coleman should spend some time at the Y this summer, because if you go to the Y, my Y, or the Y's around me at least, there are a million people like Coleman's who are dominating the fucking games at the Y because they figured out how to use their big ass and their big body to just stop shit on defense and use it on offense. He's getting there on the offense, but if he could go to the Y, get some reps in to learn how to use that big body on defense, I think that would be great for him.
Yeah, I there's a 3-on-3 like park league around here that we used to like play around in. I wasn't really in it, but I would occasionally fill in for my friend whenever he couldn't go. And there was these guys that were like 6'2", 265 pounds of just like beef, and they would just be backing guys down. It was half court, so they didn't have to worry about running up and down the floor. And they were the best players. They would get 18 points every time.
There's nothing wrong with being 6'3" and 265 pounds.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right. So, any more basketball comments? I think that the Kirk thing, real quick.
The ref?
Yeah, Kirk. Fact, real quick. Kirk said it was an accident. Do you think it was an accident, or do you think there was a little bit of pent up frustration in that? Facts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. Hey, the way I saw it, I looked at the tape this morning, and the lack of situational awareness from the referee is not Kirk's fault.
It's right.
That old man should have got out of the way, and he found out what happened when he didn't. If I was on that court, I'd be throwing that elbow too. They're rated E for everybody. I said it in multiple chats. I got dogged on today. But, hey, sometimes casualties happen in war.
That's right.
Friendly fire can go down. Exactly.
Yeah. Is that the Kirk clip, John?
Night.
Could you pull that up again? It's the Mutt clip. Oh, son of a bitch!
In the bag, that might have been the best crossover I've seen in this league all season.
Oh wow, perfect. Thank you, John.
Yeah, that must have been the Kirk clip right there. We can show that in a little bit.
No,
that Mutt getting his ankles broken for the second.
I know. I was.
But yeah, casualties happen.
Yeah, Mick, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kirk intentionally tried to hit him, but I will say that old man's got to get his ass out of the way. Just like Fax said, he's got to get his ass right out of the way. One guy's playing basketball there, one guy's officiating, watching the game. Kirk is worried about the play. He's worried about landing spots and all that. He's got, again, there's no I don't think there was any padding behind him either. So you're going right into a concrete wall if that guy doesn't get the hell out of the way. He could have hurt our star player. Again, I was screaming at my computer screen when I was watching it. This guy, he almost injured Kirk. We don't need to be worried about Kirk injuring this guy. It's the other way around. I'm sure he was pissed off afterwards. Stick his ass on the ground. Get someone else in there. We need different stripes. I'm good with that guy.
I was told. Sneaks says save the chat. It was the trolls chat, Sneaks. It was the chat that you brought me in. There you go. It was the trolls chat. And I stand by everything I said. Y'all can dog me for the rest of the night. Fucking get out of the way, old man.
Right.
Stay at the retirement home.
Yep.
If you can't be on the court, get the fuck out.
Yes,
Kurt's coming in. He's coming in hot. And he's 50. So he's got to watch where he's landing too. You never know when those knees are going to bust.
That's what I'm saying, and it's hot in there. It's slippery. I mean, that guy put our best player at risk. He's lucky to get out of there without stitches.
And I know I look like a young stallion, but I'm getting up there in age as well. And I can tell you, especially as someone who played sports back in the day, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I played baseball back in the day as well. I was a pitcher.
Rumors about this, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Some people have talked about it. I've been pretty humble about it. I've never talked about my fucking amazing fastball, but just for that. But I can tell you, as someone as someone who's getting older, basically, what your brain thinks you can do and what your body actually can do are two different things.
Yeah.
And it is very tough to adjust to that. Yeah. Especially if you don't play basketball or some sports like every day. I got out the other day. I tried to throw a fucking fastball like I was in high school. About lost my fucking shoulder. Had to ice it. Like you don't have the same things that you used to, and it's tough for your brain to meet up with your body. So while the optics, in my opinion, of Kirk don't look the best, I can totally get the justification of like your brain just didn't catch up with your body, and that's what happens.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with that too, because like even without the health, like with everything aside, when I first started shooting around at the beginning of this season or whatever, I could barely shoot from three. Like I could barely touch the rim with like a normal jump shot. And it's just because I didn't have the form and like the muscle memory, and I was just trying to shoot like I used to, and it was just weird. Now it's completely normal. I'm not saying I'm a great shooter or anything, but like it's now, you can shoot a jump shot and feel normal about it. I didn't do that after not doing it for like 10 years and picking it back up. I literally forgot how to shoot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, health is important. You saw Kirk in his brain. Once you mentioned that, PRC, I was thinking the exact same thing you were probably. I was thinking, Kirk, if you saw his eyes, he was going to try to corkscrew backflip out of the way. Yeah. But the ref got in the way too early, and Kirk's body can't do what it used to do. So those gymnastics couldn't do what it could, and unfortunately, he just got caught in friendly fire.
That's right.
And if you are an old-ass ref watching an older person play basketball, you should know that.
Come on now.
Like you should know that you're no spring chicken yourself, and you're not gonna like be able to nimbly get out of the way. So like I agree with facts that the ref needs to, watch your ass, watch your surroundings at all times. They teach that in the Army, don't they?
Damn right.
Cover your ass in your surroundings. All right.
Watch your six or whatever the hell that corny shit is.
Is that the saying?
Not in the Army.
Cover your ass. Famous saying. Okay, I don't know. But getting into Friday, let's move on to Friday, and we'll kind of basketball wrap it up and then move it into Friday to get the show done. But today on the show, Kirk said they were talking about whether they should go down a league or maybe go in the 50 league with Coleman as the ringer. Facts. Do you think a change in like a league? Would you like to see them try to compete against these teams again one more year, or would you rather see them be more competitive in like one of those leagues?
So what I would want is I want them to go down because it's just kind of like, hey, kind of like the way soccer works. You got to go down to another league. You got to compete with the lower talent. And then once they get that momentum rolling and they're working like that well-oiled machine, right back up for the revenge year. And, that's where vengeance comes in. So I want a little bit of both. I want them to go take down the schmucks, get that ball rolling, and then come up and beat the bigger schmucks, and then hoist up the trophy. That's all I see in the future, and to be honest, I don't see another option. It's either that or fucking bust.
Yeah, I think KMS is a Division I basketball team. I don't like the idea of dropping a division. But that being said, after a defeated season, you might have to. But it might time out where, kind of like Fax is saying, where we could do the spring or the fall winter league, and then maybe they perform well and run a little, win some games, maybe above 500. Then you pop back up to the league that we just got blown out in, and we see how we do.
So you're like saying like treat the fall as kind of like the spring training. So go against those guys, kind of get your legs under you.
Like that's spring ball. I like
that. You're just getting sent down for the minors for a little bit, just to get your bearings back.
Yes.
Yeah. Like when a pitcher gets injured and he has
to go.
I don't know if you knew this facts. I played baseball back in the day.
Oh shit. Okay. Hey, this is gonna surprise you too, but I'm actually in the Army, and so
shit. Get out of town. All right. So after the talk, we had Cinema Lords in. I thought, in my opinion, I thought he was like, this was one of his better shows. I think he's kind of like Ron in that he's starting to find his footing. And I think in the same sense that basketball was good for Ron because it kind of built his confidence up and integrated him more into the KMS world and family. I thought, kind of similar for Cinema Lords. Mick, what did you think? How'd you like Cinema Lords today?
Yeah, I like Cinema. That's a great picture. That is fantastic. I like Cinema a lot in there. Again, kind of like a less is more guy as far as when he's actually on the show. He doesn't really take it over or anything like that. He kind of just contributes with comments and keeps the flow going, which I like a lot. He's definitely always in there for a good laugh too. He seems like he's always enjoying it. It's not like he's bored in there or anything like that. So yeah, I would like to hear more of him in there. And I think you're definitely right as far as the basketball goes with him and Ron and probably some of the other guys too. Definitely myself being around just like the show and Kirk and everybody, like you get a little more comfortable. So I'm sure it helps when you're actually on the air with them.
Bex?
Yeah, I agree. I love Cinema Lords. I loved doing his show with him. He's a great guy. He's awesome with conversation. And just like you said, Piercy, you put it perfectly. Being on the team has made these guys more comfortable. And so seeing the natural flow, it just makes so much better conversation, regardless if like you love the topics or not. Because to be completely honest, I didn't absolutely love the show today, but Cinema had a great day regardless, and they seem to be having a good time, which is like anyone can get behind that if you're not just a fucking prude. You can get behind boys just going around and shooting the shit and having a good conversation. Like you can at least appreciate it, if anything.
Right. And like they'll fall into shit like the FBI phone call just accidentally happens. And all of a sudden, like, that's just like a major thing. Like that kind of shit, like you can't plan for that. That's just like having fun on the show and something comes up and all of a sudden, it's kind of what makes the show great, in my opinion.
Isn't that's kind of like what happened a few months ago, like one of the bigger things, the whole friends and stuff. That was just that just came off a whim.
How about the Jim Tomey stream? I mean, that was just basically you know what I mean? It just random shit that happens. That's what's great about the show. It's kind of unpredictable and what's going to catch and what Kirk's going to be interested in, and he's always going to be the one driving the interest of the fans and what the show's doing. So I think he's got a great nose for it and kind of picks it. And I if you would have said to me a year ago, oh, it'll be funny to watch somebody try to name the top 10 home run hitters for 24 hours, I would have been like, not really. But I drove 2 hours to be a part of it because I was having so much fun with it. So exactly. It's great. It's what makes the show great.
I mean, same thing happened with the basketball team too. That's how it all came about on the fucking show. Coleman talking about how good he is at basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Rightfully calling bullshit, and then all of a sudden you have an entire league of just extreme entertainment that not only within the KMS universe, but reached the entire Barstool universe as well, where you got Big Cat commenting on it, and then you got all those other jabronis in Chicago commenting on it, and then you got New York challenging you to a match. Like it sparked this huge plethora of content. Yeah, so 100%. I love shit like that.
He took the Bad News Bears and made it like content for the entire company. If you really look at it like that,
I thought exactly that when they were talking about Cinema Lord smoking the cigarette out with his buddies out by the car. That's exactly what I was thinking. Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
So, like, just moving forward to the next week, I guess. Oh, first of all, I guess it'd be remiss if I didn't speak on the. Are you guys in? We'll start with Mick. Are you in on the? Because Kirk's in on the Geary lawsuit now. Are you in on that storyline? Is that something you're following or interested in? Or
yes, yeah, I'm very interested in it. I want to see how it all plays out. Stuttering John, I didn't really get to too much of his era during the Stern show. I'm not like a day one Stern guy or anything like that. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of listened to old episodes and gone back and started to listen more. And apparently, from what Kirk says, he's crazy and hysterical on the show. So I'm sure that guy's a little wacky. So anything to do with him and part of the KMS world, I think it's going to end well. Even if it's bad right now, I think ultimately it'll end well.
Do you think we'll see Stuttering John as a third chair?
That's what I mean. Potentially something like that. Like that would be fantastic. Him and Mike in there. It'd be, oh my God. If I know, random Monday you get Stuttering John and Mike. Are you kidding me? It'd be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Are you in on the Geary lawsuit, or are you out on the Geary lawsuit?
No, I'm in on it, and I think I'm in on it mostly because I see the potential and how beautiful this is going to become if it really just does keep going to that next level. Because right now we're just kind of in this back and forth, small little jokes about the lawsuit. Stuttering John, he's always just like trying to talk shit. Like the Minifan comments on his stream was like my favorite content of the week. I can't even lie. It was just so fucking good.
So funny.
And just like Mick said, having him come in as a third chair would be glorious because you know Mike would be fucking with him the whole time, but at the same time, you also know that Kirk would be changing sides like 80 times throughout the entire argument. He would be like saying, yeah, fuck Mike. Oh my God, he's the worst. And then he'd be like, oh, that's a good point, Mike. You know, it would just be, it would be great fucking banter back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I think there's actual potential for that too. You know, depending on how this all works out. But I wouldn't, like, I would put the odds on that for him to actually be in there. You know, minus 250 is yes. I think there's a good chance it happens.
Yeah,
I have no idea. Like, I mean, I know about Starting John from Howard Stern. I used to watch Stern and all that, but I don't watch him now. Like, does he go on a lot of stuff, or is he just sit in his room and Zoom shit at people?
I don't know what he's up to at all, to be honest with you. I'd be lying. I don't know much about him other than, like you said, he was on the Stern show, and I kind of am just now getting introduced to him. I've heard Mike talk about him before, and like they've had a beef going for a little while. They've had this like Twitter online thing going for a little while, so I've heard Mike reference it, but I've never really actually dug into who he was or anything like that.
I think he'd be a great third chair. He'd be different than the third chairs we had this week, which I think we had really cool, like good vibes, chill third chairs. We're moving into next week. We'll kind of put a bow on this show. We're going to be like Papa Gino's, under an hour or less or free. I don't know their slogan. I just made that shit up.
Yeah.
You like under an hour or less or free? I don't know.
I'll take that. This shouldn't take an hour to get me pizza. Come on.
Yeah, there you go. Gus can be the delivery guy too. You know, change the tire on the side of the road. Get that pizza to you.
Under an hour less or free or so, like that. That's I think that's what I said. But facts. Going forward next week, to put a bow on this, do you like the third chair vibe, the kind of cool, chill, different people, or do you want to see like the kind of more in your face characters that sometimes are in there?
I think having a mix, and if I had to say like what ratio I like more, I would say I like more of like the chaos ratio over the chill vibes ratio. Like having a chill, just like normal show to kind of ease things out maybe in like the middle of the week is always great. But at the same time, having the psychotic, you know, Kirk yells at Coleman or Justin for doing something absolutely fucking stupid, or a random third chair will come in and then Kirk will just fuck with them just because he's like bored, and they'll get angrier and angrier throughout the show.
That's like my favorite ones. Those are my favorite.
Exactly. Those are always the best ones, because Kirk will just say something that he's completely not at all serious about, but he's going to pretend he is because it's going to piss that person off. And just watching them let it eat away at them is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I love when like a yellow shirt guy goes in there, or someone that just automatically pisses him off from the beginning. And it's like, why are you even fucking here? Like, what are you doing? Just don't say another word for like 20 minutes. All right. Those are the best. I feel like we've been gotten for a while.
That would be my bet as well. I would like another like yellow shirt type person coming in too. Mick, do you want a chill vibe next week, or do you want to feel like going in there and talking some shit?
I like either or, to be honest with you. Like today, I thought this whole week of shows were great. Just kind of the wackiness of it and stuff like that, like the FBI phone call, and just like I said, like there's just stuff that comes up, and like the whole Jimmy storyline and all of that. Like I love like kind of just the shows where there's nothing going on, but it's just kind of, you know, them fucking around, talking, bantering. But I do love like an explosive freak out. You know, I mean, you guys know that. I like going in there and yelling at times, so I can support a good chaotic show. That's certainly something I can get behind.
It is like a gamble. Like if you get the slower shows, you may just get a slow show, but it also opens it up to pass for the friends and calling the FBI and shit like that.
Oh, it's gonna boil up.
You get chaos, you know you're getting a shit show, but that's what you know what you're getting right there. You know you know what you're buying when you're walking into the store there. You know when Mick's coming in, we're gonna have some kind of argument. You know, even if it's calm for the first like 25 minutes, like Kirk's really good at like just going back to something that he knows will, you know, piss you off, or like, you know, maybe not piss you off, but just like get you fired up about it or something like that. Like he's really good at like kind of needling you without going too far. And then like all of a sudden we're talking about something that like, you know, I don't necessarily want to talk about or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just part of the show, and it's a great part of the show. I think it's what makes it so fun to go in there. Like anything can happen. Yeah, it seems awesome. So, I mean, that's the topics. We got all 5 days covered. We're going into next week. I just want to thank Mick, and I want to thank Fax. I want to thank both of you fellas for taking time out of your Friday night to come on and spend some time with me. I really appreciate that. And thank you to everybody who watched that. I watched this tonight. I appreciate you guys as well. Love you all.
Also,
yes, sir.
Sorry, before we leave, I would be remiss if I didn't promote it for the sake of the Minifan channel. We have the Fonz tournament starting next week. And Sneaks is going to be hosting that. There's going to be a draft. Here, I'll read the tweet verbatim.
There
so
you
next
go.
Saturday on the It's 420 Somewhere show, they're going to pick teams on the Fonz NCAA League, and they're going to have a lot of guests. They're going to have a vote on to see if Kyle can come back in, but it's going to be back in. There's going to be a new league starting. So there you go, Sneaks. I hope you're
Don't
happy.
listen to these fucks chirping you to promote this tournament. That's happening. God knows where.
I'm happy to help out the crowd, man.
Don't listen to these
Team
fucks.
guy, all right?
Now they're putting you in the chats and they're trying to get their fucking. They're gonna snatch you up. Facts. Don't listen to them. I'm glad that you're promoting it, though. I 100% want to promote it because
I'm a fan of promoting
I
anything.
think I might
on the
be in
network,
it.
so.
I share the love, man. I
Let's
can't
yell
gatekeep
at something
it.
about Sneak.
Great job, Fax, but also fuck you, Fax. But
Hell yeah. That's exactly the energy that I need.
He's a young boy. We have to teach him. We have 4 minutes here. There is no Menners live tonight because he said he can't do it. Probably out in the market getting some pussy.
That's right.
Ooh.
But if you guys want to take calls, you can. If not, we can get out of here. I wanted to leave it up to you guys. Your show was perfect. Like you could.
I think we should just end it.
That's my boy.
And put a ball.
That's my
on
boy.
it and just
All
say,
right.
all right.
All
I
right.
will see you guys when I see you guys. Thank you.
Take it easy, guys. Good show.
Number 11. Ooh.
If Coleman can get into a little more, yeah, wow, but there might be no mutt sack this week. Josh.
Was absolute ankle breaking. Why didn't he pull the shot? That was
Oh my insane.
seasick
Wow.
for a second there. Oh my goodness.
He might be leaving
what
his
a-
jersey in the middle of the
That was behind the back. That might have been the best crossover I've seen in this league all season.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still